Hi. In a previous video, we looked at the basics of moving around Apple's App Store on your iPad. In this video, I want to just show you a few other ways to go about finding apps. The first way that I'm not actually going to show you is just if someone recommends it to you. A lot of times when you Google or search on the web for specific apps, they'll give you links that will take you to the App Store. If you're on your iPad, when you tap those links, it will actually open up your App Store to that particular app. If you're looking at it on your desktop or your laptop, it's not going to do that clearly. But that's one way to find apps. And you can always share apps with people. There's actually a share option built right into each app page. So for example, here where it says tell a friend, that actually allows me to send an email with a link so that my friend, or me even, could go and actually look at this very easily. Another way to find apps is obviously on this featured page. Apple is going to give you a rotating selection of apps that are new or interesting or exciting. If you want to know what's really best-selling but sort of broken down by category, at the bottom of your screen there's this top charts option. And in top charts it will show you what are the top apps that people are paying for. And like on the main screen, you can actually scroll through these. It also will show you what are the top free apps, what are most popular with people. Then also it'll show you top grossing, so the ones that are making the most money. I am not sure how the #1 app there that's free is top grossing, but I'm not going to quibble with that. At the very top of your screen, you'll also see a categories button. Apple breaks down all of its apps into different categories. So if I wanted to see, for example, the education category, I can see just for that category what are the top paid or top free apps. Now, obviously, these are the popular ones. There are lots of other apps probably. If I want to go and look at one of these categories, I can use the categories option at the bottom of my screen. And now I'll be presented with a list of all the different categories and an example of some of the apps in those categories. If I were to go into productivity, for example, I'll now got a display that's a little bit like the featured page. It'll show me some apps that are new in the category, some ones that are hot, and actually I also have a release date option here where I can just sort of go and look through all of them based upon when they were added, or I can sort them based upon what's most popular or by their names. So just different ways for me to go through, and you can spend hours looking through the different apps that are available on your iPad. Once you've downloaded a couple of apps, however, something that might be very handy is this option down here labeled Genius. Genius is the term that Apple uses for its predictive process. Once you've got a few apps, the iPad will start trying to figure out what you might like. And when you open up the Genius, then it'll show you, for example, that because you were playing Angry Birds, maybe you would like Angry Birds Seasons. And that very well might be the case. I can then jump directly to that app's page, or I can indicate that I'm not interested. And I can go on and take a look at more recommendations that it might have. Sometimes the best way to look for an app, though, is to use the search bar. At the top of pretty much every screen in the App Store, you've got this search field where I can look up and type in the name of an application. So for example, if I wanted an app to work with astronomy, I could type in astronomy and it would give me both some quick suggestions, but I could actually then just tap search. I could tap search and get the whole list. And I can scroll through these and I can take a look at whatever app I might be most interested in. The final thing I want to show you for finding apps is the developers of these apps actually keep their apps usually up to date. They make changes, improvements over time. And the App Store will let you know when there are updates available. So down here at the bottom of your screen there is an updates option, and it's badged. That's the term for that little red number. It's a badge that shows me how many apps have updates right now. And one of the nice things is the updates page will show you what has been changed in the most recent version. Each of them has an update button which I could use to update apps one by one, or at the top of your screen there's also an update all option that will allow me to update all of these at one time. Now this number of updates available, if I was to go down to my home screen, you would see that my App Store icon there is also badged with the same information. I find that sometimes the number on the icon is a little out of date. The one that's inside the App Store, well, no, actually it was more correct. It thinks there are 11. But that's a quick way to know when you have new apps available to you. And those are some of the basics of finding apps in the App Store.